So I listened to the whole thing. I enjoyed it because especially your perspective of things that has some certain questions. But I thought for sure you were going to be the guy when Dana goes, yeah, Slap Fight has more followers than Real Madrid. I thought 100% you or the boys would be like, well, Dana, and it's not Dana's fault. Like, I think someone told him that, and he's just, he's 50. He doesn't know. Yeah. I thought for sure he'd be like, bud, that's not real.
So he brought it on the pod. You can see it on the pod. He has this like list of basically like statistics of the success of slap fighting or whatever it's called.
Yeah, slap fighting. Yeah, slap fighting.
And I think what I assume it is that the show gets insane ratings online. It's impossible to just keep scrolling while two people are about to slap each other. Agreed. That's like not physically possible, right? So you're going to get more views than like a cool goal, or like a random picture of Ronaldo or some shit like that. But there's no way that the league has more followers than Real Madrid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, that's not going to happen. But what's really interesting, and I don't know if he was talking about this on the pod or afterwards, but like, the entire story of UFC, and I don't know if this was pre-pod or after the pod or during the pod that he was talking about this, but like I get why he's so bullish on slap fighting.
Me too.
Because the things that people said about the UFC the entire time they were building it are the exact things that people say about slap fighting.
Yep.
Oh, this is grotesque. This is brutal. These are just destroying these people. Who are these guys? They're a bunch of guys that, they're working at fucking Home Depot. They're just dragging them out here. Like, everything they used to say about early days UFC. Because when I first saw the slap thing, I told Dana, I was like, bro, I don't really get it. It's not really for me. But every time it comes up on my Instagram, I'm watching that shit. Every single time.
Really? I can't really. For me, it doesn't.
But have you ever watched it be like real? Like I was pretty outspoken. Like, what the hell are we doing? My only issue, and like I don't doubt Dana, right? The guy hits home runs. All he does is hit home runs.
Hold on 1 second. What's that? Oh, sorry. Go.
I was saying all Dana does is hit home runs. He knocks it out of the park every time. So I'm not doubting that. My issue was with the whole slap fight thing. Is it was on the UFC feed. So they were pushing the narrative of, hey, all you guys are like slap fight if you like UFC. I'm like, do your thing, but don't force it on me, if that makes sense. Like, just have it its own thing.
When you just going to be like, my bad, Dana.
I've already done that.
Invite me back to the shows. Invite me back to the UFC.
No, we're good, brother. We're good. We're good, bro.
I'm driving the wedge.
No, not at all. No, people think that. No, me and Dana are good.
Just go. My bad, bro. You know what I mean?
No.
I want to go to the fights. I want to sit up there with the boys. You know what I mean? I want to watch
the ring.
Things. Like,
kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring. It's like, bro, the second, and that's why I want to learn the whole story, is because when you learn the whole story of things, you have a lot different perspective. Yes. I was like, what the fuck is the real story of the UFC? When I find out they're $40 million in debt, like $40
right now?
No. In the early days,
like $12 billion right now.
Right.
They funded the fighter show themselves, the Ultimate Fighter themselves. They put all the money up themselves because the network wouldn't fucking put it up. Yep. Like the amount of times. Now, granted, they have an investment fund, but investment funds have to show. The Fertittas have to show return. You can't just keep dumping money into some shit that everybody says you're an absolute lunatic for doing.
Right.
So the fact that they put that much in, that much time, blood, sweat, and tears, like, I get it. Like, it's you have a different perspective for it.
Well,
all you need to do is just say, my bad.
Yeah,
Schultz. Go to the shows.
Schultz.
You're not going to sit front row. You're going to sit behind you.
He's got to work his way in.
Side bitches. You're going to sit with the
side. Hey, don't do me like that.
No, you're going to sit up in the 100 area.
No, hell no.
200.
The 100.
You're going to work yourself down.
I'll put one call into Rogan, and it'll put me right behind him. I might get assassinated. No, but me and Dana are cool. Like, there's no beef between us. Even on the UFC 300 thing, I was like, why you bring up old shit? But I was like, respect. UFC 300 was dope. Me and him are good. Everyone thinks like this is ongoing beef. I got nothing respect for him. I love that.
Hey, Andrew, I want to ask you a question. As a guy who's always ahead of the trend in a way, slap fighting reminds me of the fact that, like, people's attention span is so short. Like, nobody's even watching a whole special. It's like, why even do an hour when you know at the end of the day they're going to watch 20 minutes of it, maybe less, even when you post a joke. So, like, what do you think? Is that going to come back? What do you?
I think the Tom Brady shit broke that.
Yeah.
Because the Tom Brady shit was 3 hours long or whatever the fuck. Like, I remember sitting up there. I had to take 2 pee breaks. Like, I'm looking at the guy who owns the Patriots, Kraft or whatever. I'm like, there's no way you don't have to pee. Like, I had to leave during Bert and Tom's set so I could go pee. Like, so I'm looking at this and I'm like 3 hours later, and then everybody in the world fucking watched it. Yeah. Like, it's insane the amount of people that watched it.
That was also a watershed moment because it was a bunch of.
Okay, so for the 1000th episode of The Fighter and the Kid, they had on some special guests, one of them, Andrew Schulz. And I love the fact that Andrew Schulz called out Brendan Schaub over trashing Dana White. And Schaub, of course, has to lie. No, we're good now. We're cool. We're good. You're not good. You're not cool. He doesn't like you. And I like how much attention Andrew Schulz pays because he's like, hey, be nice to Dana. You might be able to get back at the UFC fights. Because Schultz sees all those posts that they do at the Fighter and the Kid subreddit of Theo Vaughn sitting front row at the thing and like, hey, Theo's still just figuring it out. So, and Schaub would so be there if he was able to. But I like how Schaub threw something out there that he didn't even realize he said. He said, well, I would just make one phone call to Rogan and be sitting right behind Rogan. So that's a thing Schaub goes to in real life, probably. Like, remember the whole, when him and Callan called Bobby Lee and they threatened him by getting Joe Rogan involved? Schaub just said it right there. I mean, if I really wanted to, I would just call Joe Rogan and get seats there. And then Sutton tells me that's one thing even Rogan can't accomplish because Sutton tells me that phone call has been made probably. So the fact that he just said that makes me know that he, behind the scenes, he throws Rogan's name around all the time. But just hilarious, Schultz called him out for the thing because, look, if there's no beef with Dana White, then why aren't you allowed at the UFC events? You're not allowed there. And that's what Schultz is talking about. So you can continue with this, oh, we don't have no beef, it's good. And like Schultz said, it was pretty funny. Well, patch things up and maybe you could go to a UFC event and maybe work your way down to the front row, maybe get next to Theo. But there is a beef there. He doesn't like you. You don't like him. Every time you've interacted with each other, he's destroyed you. And in this last time, Dana White destroyed him because remember, Dana White posted that video of a bunch of people saying how that UFC event wasn't going to be successful. And one of the things was Schaub. And then Schaub just put, oh man, it was great. And Dana White was like, okay. Like, that's not patching it up, though. You're still not allowed at the UFC events. You're never going to be allowed there because you're an idiot and nobody likes you. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments.